Hello, this is Douglas Robinson. I am a solutions consultant with Beyond 20. Today we're going to be demonstrating how to store the date and time that an object moves into a specific lifecycle state. Now, to do this, we're going to need to configure certain life cycles or life cycle states for an object. So we're going to go to the object that we're trying to configure this for, and we're going to edit its properties. Now, I'm going to be working with change request today. So I'm going to open up change request, and then I'm going to open the BizOb properties screen. Now I want to track whenever change request moves into an implementing status. So I'm going to go into the lifecycle screen, and we can see that by default, out of the box, change request has a lifecycle state field of status. And out of the box, it really only has a state for closed under lifecycle. But I'm going to add one for implementing, and you will have to make sure that the state that you're adding matches the change status record that you're trying to track exactly. And I know that out of the box we do have a change status of implementing, so I'm going to add that as a lifecycle state. Now that I've added that to the business object properties, I can add a new field to change request to track the date and time that it moved into that status. So I'm going to add a field here for implementing status, date and time. And I'm going to make this a date time field. And now that I have my implementing date time field created, I'm going to open up its properties and move to the properties screen, and then change the value to set before state change based on lifecycle property. Here you can choose a default value to set anytime a state changes, but I'm going to choose to set a specific value when a change request moves into the implementing state. So I'm going to select the implementing state, uncheck the checkbox for default settings, and then since I'm going to set it to the current date and time that it moves into an implementing state so I can track exactly when it was moved into implementing, I'm going to use a function for current date and time. You also have a function for server date and time in case it is going to be different based on the user that's moving it into that state or from the server based on time zones, but I'm going to include this as current date and time for now. After you've configured that for this state, you can click on OK. And I now have a field to track implementing date and time. If I needed to, I could also track the closed date and time very similarly by adding another field for the closed date and time and tracking the date and time that it moved into a closed state. To do that, I would similarly move to the closed state under the value to set before state change properties, unmark the use default setting option, and then choose the function for current date and time. Now this is very similar to the way that incident works. If you've ever looked at all of the statistics fields on incident, you'll notice that there are several stat underscore date and time fields to track the times that an incident was moved into certain statuses such as in progress, reopened, resolved. You have date and time responded as well as date and time closed and assigned. And all that these fields are doing really is tracking the date and time that an incident is moving into a particular state. They may be filled in manually sometimes, but if you needed to add a field such as this, you could do so by adding it and then configuring a value to set before state change property on the field. This has been an instructional video. If you'd like to see other videos like this one, feel free to check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/beyond20llc. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below the video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.